few days, we've been doing this thing called Project Course. Basically, Project Course is we've been interviewing a bunch of people, like random walking around Tel Aviv, interviewing Israelis about what the issues that they found in Tel Aviv and specifically how we can make it more inclusive. So after learning about what the broad issues are, we then learned more about ourselves and our skills, and we had seminars of what we can do to make a difference.
It's nice to work in these groups with people of our own age and really tackle these problems from a new lens. Most of us have never lived in Israel, and we are coming in with a completely fresh set of eyes, and we are looking at these problems and trying to solve them, whether it's theoretical, literal, or realistically. We are here just to identify these problems and make a way to solve them.
In my group was focusing on lone soldiers. Lone soldiers are individuals who do not have family in Israel but are serving in the IDF. We want to help the soldiers by connecting them with host families to feel more comfortable while serving in the IDF and during their time here.
So our project, we focus on Holocaust survivors and their role in society here in Israel. So what we found was the basic stats are that there are 180,000 Holocaust survivors living in Israel at this time, in the beginning of 2022. They're dying off at about 15,000 per year, which obviously isn't ideal, but it's the reality, having been over 75 years since the Holocaust. And by 2030, there's gonna be very few to none left. So our project, the goal of it is to connect survivors with one another, because we see a lot of Holocaust survivors being interviewed by reporters, but we don't see them speaking to each other. We feel that because the rates of loneliness are extremely high in Israel amongst Holocaust survivors, that speaking to each other, maybe sharing stories, sharing trauma, can really open up the gates to tell these stories and connect to a future generation, which unfortunately, as we see in this time and age, that Holocaust education is at a low, and there are still people that don't understand or don't even know what we're talking about when we refer to the Holocaust, and this is very much, we see this as very problematic.
We wanted not just to make a project with a plan, we wanted it to actually result in action. So we hope that your course will take our suggestions on how to be more sustainable and implement them for future gap years, and yeah.
With the great advice of Rabbi Adam, who's been looking over us with amazing advice and eyes just generally.
I've really enjoyed the process we've gone through brainstorming, through creation, through teamwork, and finally making our project has been such an amazing experience that I've had here.